Alright, so now we're going to be playing some Satisfactory. We do have a factory that is going. We chose the start that has like an actual abundance of resources, but the terrain sucks. Because that's what the starting positions. So that's been pretty fun so far. We're going to be continuing that. That is not the one. That was me showing off the... That's not... Stop showing that. That's the one I want. New on Twitch. Because that Eden was me showing off my old factory... This one. That was me showing off my old factory before it crashed. So I showed off for a couple of minutes to like give the idea of what I had there, and then it crashed because the save file is like update 4 or update 5, if that. So it's so many versions out of sync. Like I imagine if we would have let that run for a few minutes, it would have just been a couple minutes before the thing just, the whole factory production-wise seized up because, you know, something needed a resource that it didn't use to or whatever. Anyways, let's see if there's a place you can get a good bird's eye view of this real fast. So I can quickly show you what we got. Oh, music. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. Alright. So I'm not loving the organization I have right now. I definitely want to change it. But if we look at what we got here. So we started a factory down there. We got our limestone. We've got our iron. The copper is over there. And we were building out that whole middle area. You can kind of see some of the remnants of the copper stuff we've got down there. But as we expanded, I built the platform up here. I really don't like this platform. That middle rock right there kind of screwed the layout pretty hard. That, like, instead of having a nice, neat organized, like, rows, it has to, like, kind of go, like, this way, and then you can see, like, the conveyor belts that are crisscrossing in between there and all that to try and make it work. So I'm not loving that. I want to reorganize that. But, you know, it is what it is. Up here is where I take plants and I turn them into solid biomass, which I then ship down below here to feed my bioburners, which we're starting to shut down because we just... Do you like floating factories? Like building off the cliff here? I debated that, and I was like, no, I want to implement, you know, like, I want to bring the terrain into it versus making, like, because at first I was like, yeah, I'm going to totally make a sky thing, and I immediately was like, no, it kind of defeats the whole point of having, like, the terrain. Like, that's actually what bothers me about this one, is, like, this big floating platform here, and the reason I have the big floating platform is because that one taller rock in the middle. We have got some cursed beacons I can't get rid of. I put them down, and apparently beacons don't work in this version. So they just put a thing on the map that's there forever, and I just have to live with. The game has its own music. I was like, why are we getting clashing music? But yeah, so then up here I have where I'm making rotors for the moment. And we got our space elevator, which I do have the smart plates going into. Yeah, so this is my complaint here about this one, is because of that rock, I had to put this stuff over here, the reinforced plates, which requires for me to worm this gear around. But then if we look way down there, you can see like the poles going down there. Way down there is my coal power, which is what we're expanding on right now. Is I'm trying to get the coal power up and running more and more so I no longer depend on biomass while we wait for the reinforced plates to get done. It's got plenty of those. Got plenty of cable already. We need more wire. All right. Yeah, so at the moment, I am still using the biomass burners some. Like, they're not working that hard. I've got a number of them turned off at this point. I think it's just these ones. Yeah, so I got a number of them turned off now. Yeah. Oh yeah, and for the moment, because I'm not ready to do stuff with quartz, I just toss some miners on there for now. So if I do end up grabbing some quartz, I just grab it out of those. Because otherwise I'm just shoving into a box. Eventually I will need to make some faster modes of transit over here. So there's our first coal node. Zipline cables are fun? Yeah, those are apparently a recent addition. I haven't gotten to mess with those yet. Should have checked before we even came down here. For power... Ah, it was rotors I needed. Okay. But yeah, so that's what we're working on now, is expanding our coal power down here. Because if we actually bring this up in pulse, the other side of the river is like 5 more coal nodes. So I'm excited about that, because that should be pretty easy to get a hold of. Which means pretty early on I could have my factory's power just handled till like late mid-game, I think. Now granted, the coal node we are already hitting is a pure, and the other ones I think are impure or whatever they are, so they won't be quite as much throughput. They'll make up for it in volume. Alright. So check on the rotors and the reinforced plates. Because that's, I think my next big move so far is the factory itself expansion, not the power, but like the actual production. Is I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split off an area and make it strictly for reinforced plates. So I'll have like the reinforced plates area by itself. That whatever materials goes in, out comes reinforced plates. And then later I'm going to introduce an area for rotors. That, you know, that way you can just scale that up. Yeah, because the reinforced plates are not producing nearly fast enough. And I believe that's also true for the rotors. Alright. Am I going the right way? I should be going the right way. I may be going the wrong way. Should be okay, because as long as we go this way... Yeah, there it is. I just went a little bit wider than I wanted. I was like, I wasn't seeing the familiar areas. I'm like, what? It gets easier later when you start cutting down absolutely all of the trees in the entire region to make room for more factory. So you can't get lost because there's just more factory to be had. As it should be. Nature will not be tolerated. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and this should be our splitter. Okay. I am also highly amused by the fact that this continues to play like water slosh noises. Even when, you know... I was hoping it'd let me. It's fine. And these aren't going to be remotely adequate. I'm going to have to put a, yeah, okay, so it is all hooked up. So I'm going to have to put another one of the water things on here, as soon as I remember where that is. Alright, so I need more reinforced plates. There is a chance their power is going to go out while I'm doing this, because with overtaxing the water in this, those generators are going to be kicking on and off. And if they kick off at the same time, it'll be underpowering my factory. Just want to get up here real fast. Get some more reinforced plates. But should just need one more extractor and that should be enough. Actually, wait, that might not be necessary. I forgot to put power slugs in the water extractor. Let's do some quick napkin math and see how we're doing. Okay, so you're producing 240. And you are consuming 50 each. So that would imply I have 40 meters cubed of water extra. So never mind, we're good. The coal we're not good. You can see here that actually we are good. It is actually getting the coal here fast enough that it is going up versus down. Just barely though. Any interruption to the coal production would be enough to knock it out. And you're already MK2s. Yeah, it's already MK2s, so... Wait, are you MK2s? You're not. Okay, that's one thing we can do. That's going to require a ridiculous number of reinforced plates, though. But that's fine. That gives you something to work towards. So let's try and figure out where we can get production set up to just have a place where we make reinforced plates. Not even worry about anything else, just reinforced plates. Where I can scale it up. So you look for a piece of terrain where we can make that happen. Oh, right. I remember why I was like, oh yeah, we need to revisit this anyways, because I got a recipe that requires way less effort to make screws. I can just make it straight from iron. I don't have to like make it into rods and then to iron. And I got that after I built this. So like this is going to need to get torn apart anyways because it's not as efficient of a design as I can do now. The problem I have is where the expletive am I going to put this? So we're just looking for a decent-sized flat area that I could shove this. Hi, Power Slug. I'll take a freebie. Alright. So yeah, so it looks like there's uranium down there, so I have to be careful of that. Because until I have some radiation protection, that's potentially fatal. Man, this whole thing is on a slant, which is really just not... That looks like it might be flat over there. Just checking up here. Ah, this is where the Caterium is. Alright, well, I'll probably want to save the Caterium for, you know, Caterium things. Maybe over here. More limestone. Getting like occasional hitches for some reason. I'm being too picky, and none of the ground is remotely level. So I'm just gonna have to accept that that's just the way it is. I do think leaving this area open for that Caterium would be good, because the Caterium I'm gonna want to do a lot of stuff with later. So I'd rather have that right there versus like piping it half across the map because I used up that space, or... Why am I getting these little hitches all of a sudden? We're not dropping frames, it's the game itself is hitching. We got radiation again. Let me go 1 second here. Yeah, we had the max FPS turned on, because that was one thing I ran into. See, there's something I could do. We did turn... Now, last time I turned it down to medium, it actually got way worse performance. Which I thought was really weird. That looks terrible. We'll tinker and we'll figure it out. We'll reduce the view distance. That's a good spot. I mean, we got that up there. What was that? What am I... Oh, that was the biomass. That's probably not going to expand any meaningful amount. Yeah, let's just do it here. Just because otherwise I'm going to run around looking for the perfect spot, which doesn't exist. Alright, so let's clear some area. Or what I could do is just look for the next closest set of iron nodes. And just build at those. So that they have their own dedicated iron. It's probably not a bad idea. I'm still clearing this because I'm standing here with a chainsaw, and I mean... Why not? Because all nature must go. That's part of the entire idea of the game, is that you're exploiting nature in its entirety, basically ruining the planet. But you know, that's just the nature of most automation games. I also find it interesting that I have not found any of the nuts or berries at all yet, which is weird. And it might just be this area of the map doesn't have many of them. So I remember when I first played, I found them like everywhere. Okay. Yep, unfortunately with the, little doggo thing there, he's not gonna be able to be our friend for a while. I gotta find some berries, and then we can give it berries. And then I'll run and go collect things, and sooner or later it'll bring me back a piece of uranium, and I'll have to run away from it, scared. I want to say eventually got rid of that. Maybe they did, because that was always a problem in the past, that the little dog thing would give you some, so that's the zip line? Yeah, so I need the wire, that's right. Little dog thing would bring you uranium, and you would be in the situation where you're like trying to run away from it because it keep trying to give you the uranium, so it'd follow you as it would actively kill you because it's, you know, it's highly radioactive. It was great. Well, let's also check. So you're still, this one's still turned on. I could flip that off. That's turned off. That's turned off. That's turned off. Did not know they did that. Yeah, it's like it'd take a long time for it to happen most of the time, but I've had more than one run where I've had the stupid dog chasing me around with uranium. I'm like, no. Yeah, don't put uranium in your pocket. Oh, I've made that mistake before. I thought it was really clever when I first played this game that you very quickly catch on that when you find a new material and you pick some up, you can get to the Mmmmm and research it. So it's like, all right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run up to where there's the uranium node, knowing I'm probably gonna die. I'm gonna go and, you know, smack it a couple times to get a piece of uranium out of it so I can unlock the research. And you die. And then you have your inventory full of junk, including the uranium that actively kills you. So you're trying to figure out how you can get your loot without grabbing the uranium while you're actively dying from radiation. It's just not a good time. All right, so let's see here. Where's the next nearest iron? We got our nodes down here. That's fine. Oh, I already had it marked. Oh, is it really 1,000 over there? That's fine. Does anyone know how I can get rid of the cursed beacons I put on my map in 8? Because the beacon items aren't here. If I run over here, because it's like right here next to us anyways. Hey, Zoside. Yeah, I got some really good sleep the other day. Last night's sleep was okay. Yeah, so I put some beacons down here. You can delete them from the map yourself? Yeah, I tried to do that before and it didn't seem to work. So that's the actual Caterium. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the marker just so I can get it. Oh, okay. I tried to do this yesterday and it wouldn't, or not yesterday, last time I played, and it wouldn't let me, like, click on them. Maybe it's just a thing where I had to, like, reload or whatever. Oh, wait a second, that's interesting. New marker here. Caterium, select icon. Select color. We'll make it kind of... Why are you not going more yellow? Close enough. Apply. Just haven't removed them yet. Yeah, no, it was the other day when I put them down, I couldn't choose them to get rid of them. But I'll just take it up as a bug that when I reloaded, it was fine. Playing Satisfactory? Yep. So those are the ones behind us. Those... Are those the ones we're going to? Yeah. But yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, very clearly when they add the map thing, I'm like, alright. Well, even though that doesn't do anything yet, I can physically see it right here. Hey, don't mind me, creature. I'm just here for the thing.
Picking up multiple Fixit personnel in the area. Proceed with harvest before it's too late.
I have played before, but it was back in like update 3 or 4 or something like that, like way back. It was right around the time they added nuclear. Was when I last played, like properly played. Like I remember at that point you didn't use trains because they existed, but they were not good. You need the Mercer's Spear B? I don't, because I just keep walking up and it's like, I hear a thing. That's interesting. That ends up being, what are you? You're not Cole, are you? What? Are you Cole? Oh yeah, Samor. I don't even remember what this does. That's right. No reason you loot him is shut out of it. Yep. Think it's some kind of weapon stuff now? Maybe. Oh, the berries you've been looking for.
This is one of multiple edibles we have detected in your vicinity which are within approved nutritional and medical categories as established by R&D. A new research tree can now be accessed in the Mmmmm.
That's a copper node. Okay, so we have a giant open space. Man, why am I getting this frame stutter all of a sudden? Like, we were not getting this the last time. Let's turn down the photo quality. There's shadows. Kill the shadow quality. You call this Iron Valley? Alright. Get that stretch real fast. Okay. Yeah, I'm still getting a really weird stutter in the game. Like it's not impacting OBS. And it didn't happen the last time we played with this update. Alright, we'll see if it doesn't. It mostly does when we start running. Oh, you're saying it might just be this part of the map? Kinda. Hit the chunk loads. Gotcha. Yeah, so we got a whole lot we can use here. Okay. Oh. I want that. Grab my bacon. All right. Actually, let's go for the thinner one. So I'm gonna have to run the power back and forth, because I don't like having a bunch of different grids if I don't have to. There's definitely an argument to be made to say, like, have a grid for power production kind of stuff. Alright. No need to wire a grid now? Interesting, gotcha. I'd probably like to discover. Thank you for asking, I appreciate that. Alright, so we've got our first iron node here. Before we get too far, we're gonna go production, crafting bench. Cram it over here in the corner real fast. Equipment workshop. Same deal. Alright, so we've got that set up there. So the plan is for right now to make this do reinforced plates and just to heck with everything else. For right now, it does reinforced plates. What else does it do? Nothing, just reinforced plates. Later on, we'll probably separate it out more. Just because we've been running into all the issues. Alright, let's have it get here. And now it'll be easier to throw a splitter on there. We got our smelter here. So that's up that way for the moment. So I'll need one power line there. I'll go ahead and move one up here so I have the extra connection later. Okay. So that starts that off. We can go here. Change my mind on how I want to do that. Okay, so that gives us... That's terrible. It's fine. We can leave it alone for right now. I'll fix all that later. So I'll have those two. The next thing I'll want is I will want the instructors. Oh, I'm missing reinforced plates. That's fine. In the meantime, iron, iron. Let's make a buffer chest. Which is not lined up the way I thought it was. Okay. I'll grab that pole. We're just going to assume I'm going to need more power over here. Actually, take it off that. Alright, and home is that way. Control should give you the green alignment orientation. I like the orientation. I'll have to test it when we get something else like that. Oh, yeah. No, the green lineup was fine. It was just I lined it up with the wrong thing. Okay. Alright. There's space elevator again. So in the short term, it's supposed to be a manual thing for me to pick those parts up and bring them back kind of thing. But that'll be okay. Alright, we should only need maybe 2 more poles. Alright, buddy, whatever you say. Okay, so that brings the 2 miners and that over there. We're still hurting on the reinforced plates, which is the whole reason I ran over there, so I could start working on scaling up a large reinforced plate production over there. That's okay. Alright, now I could go up here. Leaves in there. Wood in here. Yeah, I forgot about this. Well, you see, that is a problem. We'll deal with that in a minute. Drop the Mercer Sphere. Drop that off. Okay, so don't have anything new with sulfur yet because we were waiting on coal, and we have that now. So I still need to find the nuts. We haven't found any of those yet. So once we do that, we can start working on unlocking more. Now what you said about the power slugs. Oh yeah, I don't want the ore on me. Get out of here. Alright, we have you to drop off here. Drop you off here. You can't. I'm gonna regret this, but grab me the iron, drop this off. Grab more of the iron. Bum. That's fine. Alright, so we got our smart plate, or a reinforced plates. Let's run back over here, follow the power line all the way across the map, back to our spot over there. This is definitely going to be one of the areas I'm going to want to get the vacuum tube things. Where's what? Power line should be off of there. There it is. Because then I can just tube across. That'll be later, though, because I need a bunch of materials to make that happen. Okay. Now the zip lines we unlocked, does that just follow the electrical lines or their own dedicated lines? I would assume they're their own dedicated lines. But I could see it going either way. Oh, right, inventory is full. Yep. And the reason I went ahead and grabbed all that is I was dumping it in the box, I had nowhere to put it, and it felt like a waste to throw that many iron ingots away. So my plan is just to run over here, go to the crate that's going to be where we're dumping this all in, and just dump the entire stack in right away. Because the zipline does follow the power lines. That could be really awesome for not having to double up routes, that you could just literally run the power line. And even if it's not as fast as it does, nice. Then that's definitely something I want. Alright, so let's go here. Alright, what's going on that you're not powered? You have ore, you go into splitter. Oh, you have to plug it in. In case you're wondering. Oh, that's good, because I remember trying the parachute in the old one. I think we had that. There was some. It may have been the parachute or something else, but I definitely remembered using something and being like, "Oh, I only get one use out of this. Well, that's garbage." And screw alternate recipe. Heck yeah. Alright, so let's go here. We can go to foundations, do foundations. Oh, I'm out of metal plates? What? Okay, I haven't seen them stand up before. Well, that's not what I want. Okay. I'm gonna need more iron plates. Yeah, let's, even if I have to... Actually, I can probably manually make it. I can probably manually craft it. Let's manually craft the wire and everything to get the, wire and all that to get the zipline thing going. Because that feels like that would be just a real big help so far as dealing with all this. There you are. That stutter's pretty rough. That's definitely something they gotta work on. Okay. I forgot about that. Oh, that stutter. It's like sliding it in Fortnite, but more fun, less shooting. Yeah. I never played Fortnite in the Battle Royale. I played it back when it had like you versus the fog or whatever mode where they had like the base defense, that kind of thing. Which it was fun enough. I didn't like get super into it, but it wasn't bad. Alright, so I need the plates. Those should be here. For some reason, I keep getting ads about 2K, and I keep saying to myself, isn't that? I mean, it's ads. It's ads, that's just the way it is. They're the ones who are paying right now. So they're the ones you're going to see a lot of. I'm not saying it's necessarily like a good thing or anything, it's just that be the nature of ads. There we go, that's where the concrete is stored. Yeah, it doesn't matter, Strider. If they're the one paying for the ads, that's what you're gonna get. Like, that's how advertising works. That said, to be fair, there are a lot of people who are into those games. I'm not one of them either, but there are people still into it, so it is what it is. Alright, cannot afford recipe. Oh, I must have dropped the ingots themselves in one of these boxes. There they are. Just handcrafting this for a minute. We'll end up wanting to go to the... Oh, wait, the Caterium was covered with a thing I need the explosives for. Like, the good news is I have coal now. So what I need to do is just make, like, where I have the line of coal that goes into the coal plants, is I need to make a storage box to, you know, split some of that coal off, so when I need coal for, like, making explosives or whatever, I can just do that. Or, honestly, I could genuinely just make... Well, I don't have a place I can get sulfur at the moment, do I? I'd say I could just make a place to make explosives. Just automatically craft it. But yeah, the only reason I'm taking the time to do the Caterium wire like this is it is used for a lot of stuff. So if I quickly just have this like crafted up so I can unlock the recipes, it saves me setting up the operation for processing it now, because I can't get to... Well, actually, no, I take that back. There was one that had the rock out, the other one that didn't. So I should be able to set up a Caterium mine, feed that into a smelter, turn the smelter, like, make it into wire. Because remember, that ends up being big because they let you get better better power poles that have like more nodes to them, so you don't have to have as many poles. Man, with like your comment on that, like there's a lot of the sports games that like I don't really get why people are into personally. Like not sports games in general, specific sports games. That's like, when was the last time that game did something different? You know, and then crickets. But at the same time, like there's people into that. There are people who want to, you know, play the game with whoever their favorite player is and all that. And I'm not going to fault them for it. You know, I'm not the target audience. It's fine. It's the same thing, though. People who say the same stuff about, like, Project Zomboid and Fortnite and, you know, all sorts of stuff. RimWorld. Even though, like, games like RimWorld and that are games that I absolutely am into. Different people want different things. The way to look at it is it's just a poorly targeted ad. Like, you're not someone who's going to be converted to buying, so they're just wasting their money on advertising to you. But on the plus side, that does mean they are technically helping support the channel, so... I'm not gonna... We have enough for right now. Put the rest in... Not that. Put the rest in here for now. Should be able to go over to the Mmmmm. It seems like... I know the hard drives have the 10-minute wait, but it seems like all of this stuff here is only 3 seconds. Like, all of it, which is curious. It's also raised conversation, which is good enough for an ad. Yep. I need more for the Power Pole Mark II. Okay. I thought there's always like 3 seconds, and long ones were the hard drives. I thought in the past there was a bunch that were 3 seconds on the earlier one, and then you got to these later ones and they were like 5 minutes or something like that. And then the hard drives were like 10 minutes. It may have changed at some point, because I'm definitely not seeing anything longer at all. But I mean, I could be misremembering, to be clear. I was going to process these, and I was like, oh wait, I immediately need more. Here, we're going to let go down to 50. We keep the rest of those on me. We still have all those plates. I've got all the concrete I had handy. That's copper coming in. Alright, so let's see here. So I'm not going to have nearly enough to make the better power poles. That's fine. Well, let's make it a point to go to the Caterium and take care of that. So zip line requires... It requires my Xeno Zapper? That's a weird requirement. Okay. The farther you go down the tree, the longer they got. Hard drives are always 10 minutes, and then they decide to just start when you start to decode to avoid scumming. Gotcha. Yeah, now it seems like the trees that we were able to see, we got all the way to the bottom, and it was still 3 seconds. I don't think it used to be that way. Like, I'm not complaining. I actually don't really care that it has wait time. But yeah, and I get the idea. As if it was, is a thing that once you put in the hard drive, like, the reality probably should be something like the moment you pick up the hard drive, it's kind of predetermined on what it's going to be. Or even like you load your game and all the hard drives are predetermined or something like that. I don't know how you'd actually be able to facilitate that. But oh, here, let's try this thing. I literally just got it for this purpose. Okay. So I see. So when I hit a pole, I bounce off real fast. So it doesn't seem like it's that much advantage over running. Unless it's like rough terrain. Like when you hit, like, there's like a ravine or whatever. Does the pole block you? Yes, it does. I bang into the pole, it knocks me off. So if I, like, I'll just hold on to it. Bonk. But the Caterium poles, I believe that's better. If I remember correctly, the Caterium poles have more length to them. Alright. Let's go ahead and put a storage bin here. I think there'll be enough space. Alright, and it's looking like this is gonna have to be a multi-story kind of situation. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back here. Not sure if I'll need 3 or 4. Probably 4 to be high enough to not conflict, right? We can see real fast. Okay. Alright, so that should be a second floor up here without any... Oh, one more row. That's the reason I grabbed such a ridiculous number of metal plates. Alright, so you're already full, that's fine. Alright, so they're making their screws. Okay. One shy. Alright, so now I got the screws up here. I'll definitely want to save... Here's how I can measure it out. So I definitely want to make sure I save enough room to put 2 more things for the plates. Yeah, back up a little doggy buddy. Industry's happening here. Okay. Alright, so that'd be for 2 more things of more screws. To worry about later. But for right now, I could probably just hook these up to that, and then later on I'll give them their own dedicated lines. let's change how I'm approaching these. First of all, actually. So it'll give me an opportunity to offload some of these ingots. Alright, so instead of that, I'm going to go here. It's kind of annoying that it seems to be I can choose one or the other, but I can't get to lock in on both of them. Oh, these are mergers. No, those... Wait. Oh, I see what happened is I put these on backwards. That's the reason the whole thing's not working. I'm sitting there like, why is this being so temperamental? I have the constructors put backwards. It's trying to feed in materials, it's trying to put materials out. Okay, and this means I'll need another... container here, and a lot of these I'm going to end up needing to, Oh, I don't have enough rods. I can just make one rod real quick. A lot of these I'm going to end up needing to... Where's the rods? I'm going to need to end up taking some of these ones and changing them all to have the better conveyor belts, but they require the material I'm trying to have this place make, so it's kind of one of those things like, alright, well, let's just work on it. Okay, that should be good enough. Okay. Alright, so we've got both the plates and the screws going now. Now as we go assembler. They shouldn't need a huge amount of space, but it will want some space. Let's go here and say, alright, there's one whole block, we'll give them 2 whole grids. Did I turn you around again? Yes, I did. Alright. So, reinforced plate, reinforced plate, reinforced plate. Okay, so let's try and set this up before we get too far. I will make skip one, skip one, skip one. I actually have a different idea how I want to do this. Since these stack so well. Nope, not that. Instead of lining up perfectly with those, yeah, center of the machine. Go out to the edge of the tile. I have one that goes one way. Nope, change my mind again. There we go. They almost never use the stacker. Let's put that thing to work. Oh, I didn't. Don't do that. Let's go right there. We adjust it more later. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Alright, so we got that set up. You can put more power poles than I need because one of those things that... Oh, come on. Having an extra power pole or two never really hurts you. But it really sucks when you realize you ran out of connections and you don't have a good way of making connection without breaking things. Okay, so where would be the best angle to get at a free power pole? Probably over there. Go all the way to the end here. Then over here. Okay. We've already got set to reinforced plates on all of those. I am not seeing... What's going on here that we're getting no plates through? That's what's going on. Okay, so that should get plates going. They can go in here. Go ahead and drop a bunch to start with, since I have a bunch extra on me. They should get passed up. And these won't be able to adequately keep up, so I'm going to have to expand the smelters. There's no way that's running 3 assemblers by itself. Here, let's do this again. Alright, merger. There's out. There's that one. Alright, and a lot of these belts are going to be upgraded to the higher tier. Alright. Oh, I have to actually plug you in. Alright. We're gonna have to check on our power here in a minute. 'Cause that's a lot of assemblers we just brought online. Well, assemblers, smelters, all sorts of stuff. Okay. Okay, so the screw belt is nowhere near fast enough. Looks like all those are going to be starved on screws. Ah, the rip phase? Why is it called the rip phase? Alright. So right now, reinforced plate. Oh yeah, now we're scaling up operations because it wasn't nearly enough. That's not actually the one I need to upgrade. You need to be upgraded. Alright, 1 second. How full are you? It's gonna hurt. Those back. Alright. So I need to get that main line upgraded there. Then we'll get the next one upgraded. It's gonna take us a hot minute though. Because that's the current bottleneck, is just getting these screws where they need to go. Now it looks like the plates are also going to run the same problem. That's not unexpected. Yeah, 3 of these things going. That should help. There's nowhere here I can really put a slug on that'd be worthwhile, because right now it's the conveyor belts are the bottleneck, not the machines attached to them. Though we do need to watch, because these 2 smelters should not be able to keep up, so that is going to need to be expanded upon. That might also end up being a conveyor belt bottleneck, though. Yeah, it'll probably be a conveyor belt bottleneck as well. That's fine, we'll get there. There we go, it should be a nut. One more for the next segment. Yeah, it's just gonna take a little bit. You have to wait for those plates to roll in. In the meantime, I do have some of these. Where was that cadmium at? Or caterium. I keep calling it cadmium, it's caterium. It should be vaguely between me and the hub, like halfway. You have to cut down these trees at some point. Because they also block my path the exact same way as the power poles do. Alright. That was a real big hang there. Alright, so let's see. The Caterium is right over there. Alright, so let's start getting that set up. Because that'll let me get the better power poles and save me some grief. Because there's this one that I couldn't really get at. And I want to say there's another one like right next to it that I could. There's no one right over here that I was able to get. Yep. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick those up. Because I don't even care if I get good throughput on this. It's like step 1 is make it at all. Step 2 is make it at a not terrible efficiency. Alright, production. Miner Mark 1, we'll turn it. Where am I going to put the Caterium production? Wasn't there a big flat area back here I was thinking about going to for that? Yeah, we got a flat area back here. So it's going to be one of those things I'm going to back it farther away from my factory before I go to the factory. That's not what I need. So point you this way. Clean all of this up. Who knows, maybe eliminating all of nearby nature will improve with like the random chunk load times. Because it would be much less data to load because all the random sticks and trees and plants will all be dead. Game needs a riding lawnmower. Yeah, just like it doesn't even need to be fast, just so you can kind of like just cruise around, and it doesn't like make it like a full-on tractor, like not just like a riding mower, like a full-on tractor with like the giant mulching blade thing on the front, and that's like trees, the rocks, like the chunk that just sits out there, like any terrain-based stuff that you can normally break, it works on. Inventory full. Alright. And animals too? Sure, why not? Like, you don't get anything for the animals, but like, you know, we all know what you're doing. Alright, so go up here. Correction, up here. Okay, I'll go with that. Alright, so we'll start by putting a crate right here at the end. Start collecting the Caterium. Then go to Smelter. On the edge of that block. A second one just in case I end up needing it. Same deal here. Set merger. Okay. And for now, and I'm gonna probably regret this really quickly. For now, I'm just gonna put the constructor kind of campy wampus over here. Now I'm gonna have to move it later. Just to get this online. Of course. Let's see here. Production, crafting bench. You also require that. Never mind. Yeah, the power poles also require that. Alright, so that whole thing's gonna be shut down for just a minute. That's fine. Actually, it might not be. Alright, so I need to go collect some rods. And grab you. And if we go over here, let's drop off all these plants we chopped up. Alright, so this should be fun, because what I should be able to do now, if we line this up correctly, alright, so drop off the grass, drop off the wood, now I no longer need to take fall damage every single time I jump down. You're basically full. We'll take the 2 quartz out of there, and that. Drop more petals in. Kill 5 leaves and the 2 quartz. You're gone. Okay, so we got what I need to get over there to get that going. I don't think the best way to get across. It'll be interesting having like almost like a sky rail of the power lines. Like I'm assuming like you'll want to ultimately use the tubes and all, so you don't have to do like the whole juggle back and forth of up, we just hit a pull, you know, hop and grab, like in the long term. But in the short term, this is actually much nicer than having to deal with a lot of the terrain. Alright, it's too high. Okay, so that should have us at least making the Criterium stuff. Should have, yeah, we got the Criterium bars on there, so we can chuck those in there. And go over here and chuck the Criterium ore in that one. Same with that one to get on my inventory. Put that there. Okay, so that's a nice improvement to clearing out a bunch of inventory space. How are we doing in power? It's probably not good. You are exactly at what we can't handle. Alright, that's fine. So power needs to be expanded. No real shocker there. So realistically, I'll need more coal mines. We can, or sorry, generators. We can do that. I have what I need for that. I have plenty for transportation stuff. Okay. Now, where did I drop the cable down to? The coal. There's the wire. Alright. It's also interesting that this kind of encourages you to, instead of running cables like I have here, where it kind of follows the terrain around, to instead like have it where it would just drop down kind of thing. Okay, so we're not actually getting enough throughput on these to turn on 2 more coal mines. I will need another water production thing. And that's belt throughput is the problem. The only way I'm going to solve the belt throughput is by using a whole heckin' lot of reinforced plates to make this faster. Yeah, so I have to go back for more. That's fine. That's the reason why we set up all the increased production of our reinforced plates. Seeing if I had a berry for the little lizard doggo. Because you can become friends with lizard doggo, and when you do, they'll occasionally bring you materials. Most of the time, it's nothing worth mentioning. You'll be like, oh, cool, he brought me some ore. Nice. Every once in a while, he'll bring you something kind of nice. Like depleted uranium. Yup. As technically it's not depleted, it's just uranium. Alright. Do you have any idea how incredibly strong you'd have to be to just, for long distances, hold yourself up by, like, one hand, one arm, just, like, going like this on some power cable? Because not like he's hanging, like, slack. Like, just that animation. This man is absolutely, like, holding himself up for who knows what reason. Yeah, like, that arm is bent. Just hard flexing. Low gravity planet? I don't believe so. The only reason we're jumping pretty high is I have like a mech suit for my legs and all that. Alright, so let's see how many reinforced plates we got, because we also need to upgrade the belt here. Ah, man, that lack of optimization really does hurt. Okay. Nope, no rooting into it. Everything's fine. Okay. It's a shame you can't ride those up. Okay, so we have all of the processed materials to the assemblers has now been sped up. So that should help increase the productivity of these. The one in the end still looks like it's going to get starved on materials. Which, I mean, it is what it is. Versus this one here. Well, actually, it'd probably be okay, because this is starting to build up materials, it looks like. So it's gaining. If that's the case, then what should happen is over time, we should be good. Alright. That said, I am concerned that down here, where we've got this buffer... Are you going down? Yep. Well, actually, we took stuff out of there. So that's going fine. These aren't producing fast enough. And I think that's just because of the throughput on this set of belts. so I probably need to get that belt upgraded, and then we might be okay after that point. Yeah, that seems to be supporting that just fine. So I was worried these two smelters wouldn't remotely keep up with it. They're not. They are steadily losing ground. Okay, that's fine. We'll get there. Okay, yeah, so you're just steadily climbing now. Yep, so you're steadily climbing. Looks like you're steadily climbing, so we've at least resolved that crisis for now. The problem here is these are steadily going down. Like they're getting enough ore, but they're not able to process them fast enough. So this shouldn't be a hard thing to make a quick fix for. It'll be a good long-term solution. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and just plan for needing more later. And I'll need a couple more. And then more likely I will need to get a another iron node up pretty soon until we can get the higher end mines. Okay, so they are actually starting to almost exactly pace it. But that's full. That's full. And you're filling up, I believe. Yeah, you're filling up. So we should be stable there. This is fine. This is full here as well. So yeah, those should all be fine. Those should all be fine. These are filling up, so those should be fine. Make sure I didn't miss a spot. The plates seem to be going fine. Okay. So that's a reinforced plates throughput increased a lot. We're still not going to be getting enough down this far. Like this is only running at 49% efficiency, 49% efficiency. And that's almost one, well, that's actually, so this one's running pretty much solid, and then these two are running at half efficiency. That's looking like it's primarily I would just need more screws. So the solution to that would ultimately be I need a second line of screws coming through, because this belt is maxed out. So more than likely what I would do is, assuming you don't like get the Mark III belts, is I'd probably at like this spot here, instead of have the splitter, have a merger, bring in a second line, drop it in on that one to just kind of bolster the supply again. Okay. Nevertheless, there's this. Okay. Stop lagging for a second. Alright, that way I stop running into that tree. Basically, any tree I ricochet off of, I'm just gonna cut down. Just to save myself from having to deal with that every single time. Alright. There's the cadmium operation, so let's go run over there. Deuterium, not cadmium. Okay, so that should be enough for us to research the deuterium power poles. We can start going to some of these places and upgrading the poles so I don't have to do as many poles in any area. They can go longer per cable, so this thing becomes more useful. Alright. Okay. So we're making progress in a lot of this. Oh, we'll put pedals here. I want to say later on you can use the pedals to make like dyes or whatever. You just end up with a whole lot of them. Alright. So I still need more reinforced plates, but we're okay for the moment. Let's go over here to the deuterium and research our better pulls. Ooh, there's even better pulls that you can get later. Alright, a lot of the other stuff here requires me to have steel, so that's not a thing we'll worry about. We don't have the nuts yet. We don't have the purple one. I need to get the coal and sulfur to start making explosives at some point. That requires steel. That requires steel. I guess actually it doesn't matter because I need steel and all that, so that's not actually a priority. Yep. Got all that going. The point is, though, we've unlocked the better pulls, so if I go here real fast to my construction stuff, power. We're swapping out those, so now I can just go like that. Instead of having only 4 connection points, now I've got 6, or it's either 6 or 8. How many points is that? 7. Okay. But yeah, so it just reduces the number of power poles I need. You don't connect anything, you're just here. Alright. Yeah, at some point I'm gonna need to take where we got the rotors and everything going on up here. Just to shove the full stack of rotors in the machine down here. That's fine. Because I don't need a full 100 rotors on me. And where I'm splitting this, because it does favor the, it is 50-50. I'm just getting way more rotors in that storage when I could be putting a bunch of rotors down for production down there to keep the smart plates going. Alright, so where's the power line that drops down? Hello, wrecked ship. That's fine. Well, I wasn't trying to just dive down at it, but I guess here we are. Oh, you also need power. Well... Can I get you to reach? Okay, so I can't really climb that. Because my thought is I'd be able to grab that pole, run a line down, and I could zip line up and down in the future. Meanwhile, let's go ahead, and even though I know there's the animator nearby. Don't worry about it, man. Oh, usually you can find some pretty good salvage nearby those. Alright, that's fine. I was heading down here anyway, so we just know on the way down there that I just gotta drop a rotor in that thing, give it 10 watts of power, and then get ourselves a new hard drive. Okay. Oh, we got this speeding up. Bumped out a biogenerator for it. That's not a bad idea. Okay, so that should improve the throughput. Is that going to be enough to support 2 more generators? It's here in a minute. Okay. So one thing I'll definitely need is I'll definitely need another water extractor. Because we are pushing the limits, because that's putting out 240, and each one of those takes 50, so that's 200 there. One more and we overwhelm it. So I should be able to go here, say water extractor. Go logistics, pipe. Add a second connection here, power line to you. Never mind, you're full. Power line to you. We can go power. Okay, so we're gonna turn you off for a minute. Alright, this is always a pain point. Okay. Of course, I don't have enough to make that work. I'll deal with the power in just 2 seconds. Okay, there we go. And now with that, before it gets overwhelmed, let's turn that on. Okay, so it's filling up in coal fast. And I can't make another one, right? Yeah, I don't have enough reinforced plates. Yes, we do have enough water, and we do probably have enough coal to handle one more coal generator, maybe more. Okay. So I'm actually imagining I could do... grab this pole. I'll probably wind up wanting to go down this way in the future anyways. And wanting to have a shortcut. Alright, and now we detach it. That gives me way back up, too. I could absolutely see falling to my death doing this at some point. Okay, so we've got the hard drive. So let's go to our Mmmmm and just shove it in there. Because one of those things you can find a lot of hard drives later, so I'm not too worried about deterministic stuff later. Alright, we have the power pole going up there to drop off our biomass. There we go. Drop off the leaves. Drop off the wood. Alright, so we already have our miner on the Caterium. We already have the miner on the coal. We've got more iron production set up. Let's go over there and grab a big pile of reinforced plates so that maybe we can advance our tech real fast. Because we have been expanding a lot of our operations, but not up-teching at any meaningful speed. Okay. It's a shame they couldn't do something like have the upgraded... Actually, I haven't even checked. I can't imagine that changes anything. But have like the upgraded poles where it has like a bypass on it or something. Just for that. So you pay like a little bit more to have like the cable go around the outside of the pole, not through it. Because that'd be kind of a neat way of dealing with that. Hey, Red Hawk Black Sheep, thank you so much for the raid. Give me just a moment, I'll get you a shout out. Alright. Let me go ahead and get this, so... Red Hawk Black Sheep, who was playing some, it looks like, probably Product Zomboid, kind of hard to tell, because Twitch is really bad at sharing that information. But, I do hope you had yourself a good stream, and thank you so much for the raid. It's going pretty good. Alright. Okay, so we can finally upgrade our tech. Let's go ahead and start riding our cables back. That lack of optimization is real painful. I know I keep mentioning it, but just it stutters so much. Speaking of the stutter, there it goes. Alright, so we're making good progress on our smart plates. Eventually I'll need to do the same thing I did with the reinforced plates, except for rotors. But for the time being, I'm not going to worry about too much. One negative we have is that I have all those plates way over there, and I'm going to end up having to shift them back home. That'll be a thing I'll need to do eventually. And the old way you did it is you just built a conveyor belt, or many conveyor belts, depending on the resource, and ran it home. Because, like, back then the trains didn't work real well. the trucks were useless. There's like, you could have a truck that you'd load up with resources and like have it autopilot back and forth. But they were completely useless back then. Like they would sit there and they'd repeat the path like twice and then get stuck and mess up their navigation or whatever. Alright, so copper is going really well. That said, we're not really using it that much. Okay, get in the machine. Oh, I'm missing there. Aren't trucks still completely useless? I don't know. I haven't played since update 3 or 4.
R&D inflated your pocket dimension, added an additional hand equipment slot, and have provided an improved Xeno Zapper with increased strength and range.
Okay, we could drop... Oh, you're full, aren't you? I mean, that's not a problem, per se. Here, we're gonna solve it this way. If one storage container isn't enough... make it 2. Alright. Let's see, I think I've only personally seen them made work, them dedicate half-pipe highways they could possibly run into stuff. Even then, you might as well just build trains. Yeah. Like, that's the thing, I remember experimenting with them once and being like, this is wholly useless. You know, it's just not usable in a meaningful way. Alright, so we still need to make modular frames at some point. Alright. Trying to think of where to work next, because we do need to expand stuff. I'm basically waiting to see what the next... Oh, are you done yet? You still have 3 minutes. Alright, so we'll see what the alternate recipes we have, because depending on that, it might be one of those things, like one of the things I need to do is up here where we've got our screws all being produced, by going to rod then screw, we got the recipe that we can just skip the rod phase. That wouldn't be a bad use of time to consolidate a lot of that machinery. But genuinely looking at that up there, I am just thinking, honestly, like leaving that alone, going and finding a place to set up rotor production, and then that whole area up there just about becomes obsolete outside of the smart plate production. No, I take that back. Smart plates are down there. Like this whole area up here becomes redundant that I can just tear it down, and I just convert it into something else. Like, genuinely, that might just become rotor production up there. Or we leave it alone, and later on it becomes steel. Okay. So we have basic steel production, vehicles, which the inventory slots is a nice bonus, but otherwise there. Alright, so both of these are going to require me to make modular frames. So that'll be our next go. I do think steel is next. There's your stack of that. And go grab some more copper wire. I should have plenty of that laying around. Okay, and the rotors we won't bother with, and then the modular frames. So modular frames apparently are reinforced plates and rods. Okay. I didn't want to see that. Alright. Now, the question is, So I've got this stuff here. And make this area to do rotors. We can make this area to make rotors, this area over here is to make our reinforced plates, and then this area over here can make the modular frames, which I realize reinforced plates are a requirement of, but rather than shipping them all over the place. No, that should be where he puts steel, because I've got the coal there. Alright. I mean, there's so much iron down there. Yeah. I mean, there are 4 here. We'll deal with that in a second. Let's see what the Mmm's recipe is. So I do think the iron over by the coal, that's becoming steel. Because it just makes sense because it's over there by the steel already. Or by the iron already. Okay. Well, that's interesting. So right now our reinforced plates are using screws and plates. What? Let me. What is our reinforced plates cost? So reinforced plates. So it's 12 screws, 6 plates for 1 reinforced plate. Okay. Oh, I have to wait to rescan it if I can't sell? Well, that's annoying. I want to compare numbers. Hey, Alanorama, how's it going? Let me go ahead and get you a shout out real fast. So shout out. Alanorama. It's a Raidorama. Everything is fine. And you were playing some RimWorld. I was hanging out there earlier. You were doing some TTK on there. Hopefully, chat did not either hug you to death or not hug you to death. I didn't catch to see where it left off. Oh, I have a power pole not hooked up to everything. That's useful. But yeah, so how'd the rest of your stream go? We're satisfactorying and dealing with indecision on how we want to tackle stuff. But welcome in, Raiders. I am Rual Storge. You play a variety of games here on Twitch. I'm most known for my exploits at Project Zomboid, where I used to hold a world record. But that record was beaten. Let's see. I did a lot of trimming. The stores. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to stream. In TTK, it's going really well. Chat can't be really that mean. Nice. Well, it's also fun in the... Even when chat is being nice, it can be mean, like the whole where they just give you a bunch of stuff, and then you go, wait a second, when did my colony value get this high? Why are the raiders showing up with 100 people? Hang on. Let's see, will I be do A, B, C, or F? What? Yep, that's going to definitely be part of the challenge. Yep, so the thing we've got going on right now is I've been working on my factory. For those who are not familiar with Satisfactory, it is an automation game. So it starts at the very beginning of the game where you walk up to a piece of ore, you have like a little pick, and you just go tink, 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 and you pick it up by hand. Oh, yeah, the indecision, yeah. Because what I've got going on right now is I've got a dedicated spot I'm going to right now where I'm making reinforced plates. And I need the reinforced plates to make modular frames. Now, I made this spot over here with the intention of it being just for reinforced plates, so I can scale it up and not have to worry about conflicting stuff later. But then it was immediately followed by, I need the reinforced plates for another recipe, and it's really far away, and I'm not looking to pipe it half across the map quite yet. So my options are, I can deal with having this place do multiple things, which I really don't want to. Or I can go out of my way to go a really far distance to make an area specifically for my modular frames, but then I have to deal with the fact that it's on the other side of the map. and all that. And we also had a new recipe for reinforced plates I was checking out that didn't go. So like this I've got 3 of these making reinforced plates. That little hang from lack of optimization is really rough. So it's those things that I have an idea of what I want, and the game's basically being like, well, you can have that, but only if you go through pain. I think I'm going to find another place that I set up for my modular frames. Which does mean I have to go find that ore, and then I've got to run a cable all the way out there. And then eventually I'll have to conveyor it back home, or train it back home, or whatever back home. But yeah, for those who are not familiar with Satisfactory, I want to say Factorio, but it is an automation game, so the idea behind the game is you start out, things are very manual, they're very laborious, and little by little, you automate more and more and more, and the factory becomes more and more complicated. You really should try this again, specifically adding the blueprints in the game. I haven't messed with the blueprints, so this is my first time playing on a meaningful amount since, like, Update 3 or 4, like, where trains existed back then, but they were really terrible, and I understand trains are really good now, which is good, because running a conveyor belt across the entire map was always rough. And if it does seem the game is hitching every so often, it's optimization problems. It's the game itself. It's not on your end. You're holding off for the final release of the story. Did I burnt myself out around Update 3 before I play again? Yeah, that is a real problem with these games. Yeah, we're doing finding cable. Give me the wire. Got our solid biomass. It's just accruing over there. Alright. So are you ready yet for me to choose my recipe? No. Okay. So let's take a look at where we got iron. Because I've got the stuff right here that's just kind of being multi-purposed. Any roadmaps, when they expect to finish the game? I have no idea. I've got this iron that's way over here, but it's close to my coal, so I'm going to want to save that for steel. This is where we just were, where I'm doing all that ridiculous production for, reinforced plates. Might have to go farther for a lot of this. I don't want to go that far. Let's, it was south? That's fine, we'll explore a little. That's not what I meant to do. Go ahead and grab. Oh, wait, we got an extra spot. I forgot about that. Oh, they finally changed the UI in this. That's cool. Okay. Ow, radiation bab. Ow. Hey. I don't need that attitude. Where are you? Oh, you're down the crevice. Oh, wait, no, never mind, right there. So where is... There's uranium here somewhere, and it hurts. And I need to figure out exactly where it is, because I want that slug. Is it just down... Is it down here? Why do I keep walking away and still taking damage? I'm assuming it's down below, like, right... Never mind, we just jumped off the ledge anyways, it's fine. I'm assuming it's like down. No, it's there's multiple places. Never mind. That snail we weren't meant to have. That's what I'm taking as. That snail was not meant for us. Not yet, at least. Was that sulfur? Okay, so we got sulfur we can get at. It's actually not too bad. So we'll go ahead and mark that. Add marker here, select icon, do this. Stone, select image, select color, make it as yellow can be. And sulfur. I don't have much need for that yet. Let's actually do a pulse for iron. So we got stuff behind us. Hoping to detect some down here. It's not encouraging. That's either gonna be above us or way below us. Okay. I kept hearing something off to the left. Oh yeah, you big guy. I was leaving, I guess. Okay. So they're still chasing me. I'm going with the strategy of just climbing really fast and zigzagging. Alright. So we should have lost him by now. Okay, so we've got some down here. That is not a convenient place for those to be, by the way. We do have a giant open area here, so we could definitely... There's definitely a lot of factory we could build here if we wanted. Oh, been looking for those. Okay, so you need 50 megawatts of power to work. How much do you produce? You produce 30. Would you calm down? Hey, you. Hey, you. So, like, the little one I'm not worried about. That bigger one actually hits pretty hard. Yeah, it's right. Get zapped. Oh, that's less than ideal. So it's flinching, so we're getting hits in. Sometimes. Come on. Poke up here a little ways. Because I'm really low on life and I don't feel like running this way unless I need more. Damage caused just by colliding with them? I noticed. Good luck poking the wildlife. That's bad. They can juggle me. Is there a third one? No, it's just a two. You just reposition. Alright, where are you? Okay. Alright, you sleep well. Thank you for hanging out. There we go. Alright, with that problem solved, what do we have here? Let's, deal with some of this wildlife real fast so we can fire those biofuel generators long enough to open the box. Alright. Probably all I need. Okay, so we can go here, drop the leaves in, go here, turn those on. And then pick it back up. Now I've completely lost track of everything going on. Where was that iron we were walking everywhere for? Alright, so it's right over there. Alright, looks like there's more coal here. So it might be skip. Oh yeah, I remember this place. Yeah, my last factory, this is where we were set up. I don't want to deal with you. Go away. Yeah, so my last factory, there's a valley down here. And I was set up in that valley, and this is where I came from. My coal power was up here. Yeah, so that's like the desert start is like right down there. That's the reason why when I did this iron detection. So the iron that's right over here, that's like really meant for you to make steel, but there's a bunch of the iron down there for the other start. It's definitely not, that's definitely a long ways to travel for those materials. I also don't remember the way you're supposed to get up here. Other than the way I did it was I built a giant, ridiculous ramp. I distinctly remember going up was way easier than going down as far as building stuff. Alright. I'll bite. That'll do for right now. Okay. You can avoid aggroing those for a moment. Alright, well, I don't want to drop off here. Basically, I want to make sure I can get back up easy. That's fine. Alright, we can aggro this, kill it real fast. Alright. Is that the iron down there? That it is. That's no, I don't want to put directly into that. Yeah, so let's put it way over here along the side. Because the whole intention is I'm going to make the modular frames here. Still not a good position. Okay. Alright, so we can start getting this whole thing set up. We'll probably end up having to drop back to get more materials and run the power line and all that, because I like keeping it to one power grid as best I can. And unfortunately, this has been a long journey to get here. Alright, so let's go ahead and go here. This will be fine that we do have to expand out this far. Why are you unhappy? Oh. Oh, there's some piece of wildlife in the way. That's fine. Alright, so. First thing I usually will do is I'll go to one of the edges real fast. And chuck down our benches so I don't have to go anywhere for that. Oh, that's badly positioned. Let's fix that. Okay, we can go here to smelter. Start with 2 of those. That's fine. Alright. So that'll give us iron. Fine, don't look straight at it. We can go from there to production, constructor. Got two of those making the rods. Oh, right. Right. 1 second. I need to have a buffer in here. Alright, so this means I have a merger. Put the merger facing that way. So that means I gotta place the ingots. And go here. Because then from here we'll put the constructor. Give a little bit of room, put a second one. Alright, so that'll be our 2 for making our rods. They can pop over here a couple positions, so you can go ahead and grab constructor again. Just gonna say 1, 2, 3. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And that's just giving myself some room for later expansion. There he goes for the first one. And then the second one. Okay, so now I should have the alternate recipe for screws. Just take a bunch of ingots. And we're definitely going to end up having to get a second miner involved in this. And extra refineries. Worry about that when we get there. Same as last time, give myself a little extra room to grow. Alright, we got you. We got you. All this is going to end up needing better belts later. Hey, Siege of the Day. Thanks so much for the raid. I'll get you a shout out here in just a second. Before I forget what I'm doing. Alright. Let me go ahead and get that shout out. As I hit all of the wrong buttons. Don't worry about me. So shout out for Siege of the Day. Who is playing some Mmmmm. 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 Twitch isn't telling me, but plays Planet Crafter, Minecraft, and PlateUp have been recent games on the channel. All good games, so if that sounds like your jam, check it out. But welcome in. DJ Day and her castle crew are ready to you. Well, thank you. I appreciate the raid. I do hope your stream went well. And that you are having a fantastic time of day. Because I don't know what time of day it is there. I am Rual Storge. I do play a variety of games here on Twitch. I'm most known for my exploits in Project Zomboid, where I used to hold the world record for the highest kill count run ever streamed at 135,121 zombies killed on one character, one life, without mods to change itemization or vehicles. That record has been beaten, but it is kind of what I'm known for. In the meantime, I am a variety streamer, so I do play a variety of games, and today we are playing some Satisfactory. I'm just starting to get to the point of putting up modular frames, which is what this is, all this nonsense is about, is getting that all set up. Do I want to go up a floor or just keep going forward? I think we just go forward. Said Planet Crafter today, just testing it out, and Satisfactory reminds me a lot, which is fortuitous. Oh yeah, I haven't played Planet Crafter myself. I've heard good things. But yeah, like, and I'm not a huge expert in Satisfactory. I played a whole lot back in like update 3, and I think we're on update 8 now. So a lot has changed. But yeah, it is those like automation style games. Let's scooch you forward. Put that there. And I'll put another one here. And another one. Where's the spot? There's the spot. There. Get our merger. And our merger. Is there a stream a few weeks ago? On the Noise stream? Yeah, Noise is a fun game. It's unfortunately a hard game to stream on any reasonable amount. There are a few content creators who do pretty good in the category. But it's kind of like the total audience is small, but there's not many creators who do it, so it makes it out okay. It's kind of the same place Project Zomboid is for English content creators. It's part of the reason why there's some people able to succeed in it now is because there's really just not many people staying in it. Most people you do see, they pop in for a week or two and then they pop back out. Because I used to do a lot of Project Zomboid. Started to burn out, and then plus, like, the category was getting... You know, people were moving on because it hadn't had an update in forever. Alright. So I've got all those wired up. Those are the individual things I'm going to need for what we're making. Alright. So, you got a raid run? No problem at all. You take care of yourself, and thank you again so much for that raid. That was a poorly timed ad. Oh, well, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. It's already happening. Alright. So, what I'm debating right now is, do I build this out here, blocking this ramp? Which I may or may not want. I think I changed my mind that we're going to go for a second floor. What we'll do here is go foundations, ramp. Yeah, there should be plenty of space. I believe 3 steps is enough. And just watch those resources disappear. No, I built part and I need to. Okay.
Thank you Dicker_Buge for subscribing for 6 months. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yep. And thank you again, Dick Butte, for the T1 sub. I really do appreciate that continued support. You've been supporting the channel for 6 months, half a year. I really do appreciate that continued support. It does make this all possible, so thank you so much for that. I do hope you're enjoying your advertisement-free viewing as well as access to the emotes. And thank you again for that. Alright, so, like, the worst thing is none of this is running yet because I've got to run a power cable, like, half across the map, and I'm not looking for that. Yep, it does. I noticed that the, one of your past subs, I noticed it pronounces it right. Alright. So, I'm basically out of iron plates, so I'm not gonna be able to finish building that part out yet. But that's okay for the moment, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grab that tower there. I'm gonna start running our power home. So home's over there. And I know I could stretch these longer. I'm not trying to get the max length. I'm trying to get it to where we have good line of sight points for them. Down the road when I go to zip line. I'm out of iron plates every factory game ever. Yep. You're not wrong. Okay. I see the gold power slug there and a place you have to drop off and put your life in your own hands kind of thing. There's going to be a whole lot of trees I'm going to have to cut down to make this not a pain. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Little too ambitious with that jump. Yep, let's, take a minor detour. Huh. May have just short of hucked myself off a giant steep cliff. Where did I get up here from? Yep, no, I still got like at least 45 minutes before I need to worry about dinner. Grab more of the nuts. Gotcha, okay. Now I see what we're trying to get to. Well, that's curious. What ore is this? Yep, no, I appreciate it. We're not getting slapped with radiation yet, so that's good. There appears to be a cadmium light. Well, where were you all hiding? Hang on. Stop it. Thank you for the lift. Did you kill each other? Oh, hey, talk to my brain. Or not.
Comply.
Okay, good enough. You've made a sound argument. Are you using coal for power? Yes, I am. I am genuinely concerned that once I hook all of that nonsense up over there, we're gonna immediately have our stuff shut off. So, way down there is where my energy is. So I'm trying to just go around this waterfall. I don't really have a better way of doing this. Can I scooch away over there? Hey. As much as I want that, those are going to spit poison. This is absolutely the scenic route for this cable. It's also a terrifying cable to follow. No, 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 stop it. Well, I got it built. But I have to take the Gravity Express because I can't reach... Good, we slid down the hill. Cool. Alright. Okay, so we can actually handle that. Alright, so you were making our cadmium. How am I doing on that? I'll take 2 more stacks. 3 more stacks. Final offer. Alright. Well, that's not what you want. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so first we're going to go check our reinforced plates, which will be at the split to the right. Yeah, with how well I did right there on jumping from post to post, I'm absolutely not going to immediately regret having these go over gaping abysses that if I'm not at full health, I'll die. The game does have it where I believe if you're at full health, there's no amount of fall distance that'll kill you, but it will put you down to basically on the cusp of death, where if you run any fights, then, you know, that's a thing you don't want. Only if you have full health, correct. Where I'm not at full health. So if I fell at maximum height, kind of damage-wise, we would die. Alright. Then best be prepared to die. I mean, sooner or later, I'm gonna accidentally huck myself right off the, right off a large cliff and probably die. The hope would be that happens after I manage to make myself a parachute. I believe what I need to do that is I think there's cave mushrooms. Have you unlocked blueprints? I don't think so. Alright, so let's go back to our main base. I probably could have got a bunch of iron plates back there. It's fine. We can go back to the main base, grab a bunch of stacks of iron plates, top off our concrete, check on what recipes we got on that hard drive. It should be the same ones, because I looked at the recipes and then wanted to compare numbers, so I exited out of the screen, and it made me rerun the research. And I assume it doesn't re-randomize, because that would be... game? There you go. That's a pretty long hang right there. Like, because otherwise that'd be an abusable thing that you could just reset it again and again until you got the blueprint you want. And I'm pretty sure that's not the case unless it's a bug. Because that was not how it used to work. Alright. Yeah, that loading chunks hang is something. Alright, so let's take us up here where we got more reinforced plates. We'll grab those. Oh, here, we can go over to this box. Grab a couple of stacks of these. Put one back. Oh, hey. Iron ore, we're just going to delete you out of existence. I'll grab one more stack. There's a solution to travel with zip lines without jumping. But you also need to unlock the wall power outlets. Yeah, that's what I was thinking is, either that, like, I figured it's going to be either something like that, or there'd be, like, an upgraded power pole where the cable goes along the side of it, as opposed to right into it. I mean, ultimately, the long-term solution is you'd switch to using the hyper tubes and all that. Oh, here, before we start messing with that, there we go. So continue to feed the leaves in here. And is there any wood in here? Nope, we don't have any wood in here. Okay, that's fine. Alright. So, checking the man. It did change the recipes. Okay, well that's super abusable. That literally I could just hit escape and not have to, and like be able to rotate the recipes. I'll do iron wire. Hey, thanks so much for the raid, Pank. Let me go ahead and get a shout out for Pank Raru. Pank Raru is a fantastic content creator on the platform. Been playing some Sunhaven today, but also been playing Phoenix Point and Control recently. VTuber, greatest pink squid on the internet. So definitely worth checking out. How did the rest of your Sunhaven go? I know I was checking out before. That basically had to pop out right as my stream started. But did you have a good one with that? Have you figured out who you're going to be pursuing? Let's see. Where do you get the rain spell for your crops? It is in the talent tree. I can do that. It's in the talent tree. It's one of your farming talents. You're super tempted by Liam the Baker. Liam is adorable. And does entirely more than should have to do, by the way. You're a good mod. Oh. Alright, so you can go ahead and do this. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to stream. Alright, so I won't be able to do that till we get steel. We know where there is a purple slug, but it was in the middle of a bunch of poison, and I'm like, you know what? I choose to not die right now. Alright, so there's a whole lot of stuff we'll be able to get later. And then, alright. Alright, so we'll scan our hard drive to unlock more stuff. Put away our little thing here. For all those popping in, sorry, I'm like juggling things here real fast. Sort all this. Put the nuts in there. Okay. Oh, I did have wood. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm gonna be going there in a moment. It is a route for ziplining that should not be. Is the way we'll do it. It is the route I made, not the route I should have. I fully expect to die on it sooner or later. Okay, so we got our iron plates. What am I gonna need to grab before we go? So we got our iron plates, we got wire, we got this. Concrete. Which should be that box. And just the precaution, do I have a good amount of cable? I do not, so let's grab some cable. That's not where the cable is. Should grab some cable. That's not where the cable is. I should grab some cable. That is where the cable is. Grab like 4 or 5 stacks. Okay. So I've got all that. Let's see. Do I have enough rotors on me? Yeah, I do. Alright. So yeah, so we're gonna start working away on the death route. But anyways, for those who are popping in, oh yeah. Honestly, I find the arachnophobia option horrifying in its own way. If you have not seen, this game does have an arachnophobia setting, because there's these, they're not actually spiders, but they're sort of, they're close enough to spiders that they can be difficult for some people. So they have an arachnophobia mode that works, and it has in-game lore on how it works, which is that your visor on your helmet, instead of showing spiders, shows kittens. But the kittens in their own right are also horrifying, as you have all these little kittens running at you. They're like HUD kittens, like a graphic just put on your screen, a 2-dimensional graphic. And it just starts mewing at you as they run up to you and start hacking away. Well, and that's the reason it's a death route. I actually didn't hurt that bad. Well, now I can see if I can figure out a way to get back up there. There's a ramp over there. Well, that's not what you want. Okay, I freed myself. Surprisingly, that didn't hurt that bad. But yeah, so you just have like all these little things they're going, meow, meow, and they're just like little staticky JPEGs coming at you instead of seeing the spiders. So it's like, they're still spiders, you just don't see them as spiders. And it's just like an in-game thing, and they're deeply upsetting. But if your someone has arachnophobia, it won't trigger your arachnophobia, hopefully. I'm gonna turn it on. I don't see the spiders very often. Where is it? Arachnophobia mode. Okay. Apply. Yes. Oh yeah, they make you jump. They're creepy critters. Alright. Climbing up our death track, take 2. Because basically I'm ziplining with a motorized zipline uphill. Okay. And if you bump into the poles, you fall off. That's the danger jump right back there. Because you can't really see what you're doing. Alright, this tree has to go. That tree's going to get me killed at some point. Oh. There we go. There we go. There we go. Later on, I'll have a much safer way of doing this. But right now, this is the faster route, because otherwise I have to go under a whole bunch of stuff to, like, deal with all the terrain to get around. Versus this, I could just kind of scooch around the giant abyss of a hole that's over there. Alright, that's annoying. I have an easy way to... Oh, and earlier I about jumped right off this ledge. Like, I ran right at the edge, jumped, saw like there was no ground beneath me, and managed to turn around and get back to ground before I fell off. Oh, hey, a Mercer Sphere. Ow. Okay. Yeah, I've actually got a lot of trees I should be taking down. Oh. Do you hear kittens? You may have. I've been traversing terrain real fast, I haven't noticed. I can go seek some out here in a minute. I'm pretty sure if I remember this area correctly, because my other factory I showed off the other day, the one that I played way back in the day that crashed my computer, that's where it was, down in that abyss. Oh, okay, so I can't just clear the pole. And we're almost there. That down there is where we're going. Oh. Hi, slug right here. These are power lines. There's a reason why this thing is shooting sparks at me the entire time I'm doing that. Yeah, I think it wasn't... I think it crashed the computer mostly because it was from, like, 4 or 5 updates ago. Ow. Luckily the character's wearing PP. The thing, and I pointed this out earlier, is if you watch the next time I, Here, let me get on the zip line here. If you watch, my character's not hanging with their arm fully extended. He is clearly, like, riding it with his arm bent like that. Why? Because he's made out of tougher stuff. Like, he's very clearly got his arm bent with that camera angle. Is the character not she? I actually don't know. I think... Wasn't there a way to get to an external camera? That's not it. I think they did the thing with the character model so it's, ambiguous. Like it could be a she or a he kind of thing, like they did with like some other characters where they just, you know. That's the way I took it. Was a character that you could make it what you want. It is a she? Oh, I was unaware of that. I thought there was a way to see that. Okay. I mean, your character never speaks, so it's kind of hard to tell. Not that it matters to me one way or the other. Alright. Yeah, no, like that's the thing. I've done the tubes and all that. It's just I thought it was one of those things where they made the model ambiguous, so it's like you really couldn't tell one or the other. Kind of like the joke they did with Pyro and Team Fortress 2 way later, that they have all those videos they came out with for the various characters, and when it came to the one about Pyro, they switch what the gender they refer to the character as, like, every other line. You're kind of sitting there scratching your head being like, I don't really know. Canonically, it's... Or I don't think they actually mentioned it canonically, but, like, clearly it was meant to be male at one point, but, you know, it is one of those things that you're channeling your... Oh, come on, the other time I didn't have any problems. Oh, it's because I didn't put those out far enough. Boo. Yeah, gotcha, like I said, for me, it's never really been something I cared about one way or the other. But as well as things that I thought the intent was to be ambiguous. Again, I don't really care one way or the other at all. Like, the character has to be female? Great. Cool. I just noticed something. You didn't get parts on your belt. Why is that? Did I not select what you're supposed to do? So you're supposed to be screws. No power. That's why. Oh, I see. There you go. So those will all kick on. I was wondering why it seemed like it was requiring no power to run all that. Let's check our power situation, because that is a lot we just threw on there at once. Okay. Yeah, so we're getting dangerously close that if everything kicks out at the same time, it'll knock our entire grid out. I'm too far away to fix that, but we'll get there. Okay, so I have the screws and the plates here for making the reinforced plates, and then we've got that over there for making the modular, whatever they were, modular frames. So I need to go to production, assembler. I will start way over here on this end. Hey, could you not be inside the physical entity that is my building? There are laws of physics, and one of those laws is that, very simply, no two solid objects may occupy the same space. And it's deeply upsetting to me that you would disobey these rules. I don't ask much, just that the laws of physics be respected. Must mean the creature is liquid. Maybe. Alright. So. We'll do like we did with the last one. because I was not good about using these before. Right now, I just gotta mash in there. As I have to add more sumblers, I'll have it go down that way and come back. There's no reason to put the effort in on that yet. Okay, we'll run this all the way over here. Plunk it down there. And that gives me another way to drop down without having to go the whole way around. Okay. So this one we're going to do kind of the same thing. It's not going to be nearly as elegant, though. And the reason it's not going to be nearly as elegant is ultimately... I can probably make this work okay. The reason it's not going to be as elegant is the thing I want to feed into the top set is coming from those machines. So we're going to have one going one way, one going the other. So let's plan to do this here for now, do there for now. So you're making modular frames. You're making modular frames. You two are making reinforced plates. So there's our mergers. Put that there. And a whole bunch of these I'm going to have to replace this faster belt. Right now I'm just trying to hook it up so it produces at all. And I'll circle back later to give it the high-speed belts. Okay, so what we can do here is just to make my life not agony. I'm gonna use those the whole way to keep it up in the air. Oh, I see. Note to self, these are gonna have to start, because it doesn't know which way I'm going. Once I lock it in, it sets a direction in the belt. This way, when I run around here, I can just go underneath and not have to worry about it. Okay, so that should have all of that hooked up. Alright, modular frame production is online. Let's take a look at our, how deeply upsetting our power situation is going to be. Up. Okay, so before I make this more efficient, this is how much power I have the potential of producing. That's how much I have the potential of consuming. We can end up consuming way more power than we can produce. Which just means the moment we have the whole thing where the stars align and everything kicks in, rip our power. So we need to go and run all the way back to our coal production, or power plants, and expand on that. Now, downside is we did put our modular frame production way out of the way, which is going to bite us in the butt in the short term. But then once we get the ability to start moving stuff farther distances easier, then it should come back to help us. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, fine, I'll deal with you real fast. I'm at full health, let's do this. Send the bees at me. Okay. I hear you. There you are. Because the power slugs are really useful because you can turn them into stuff that you put in your machines, and it'll improve the efficiency of the machine so far as like how fast it does stuff. Which is good because it means it can produce way more stuff in less time, but it's bad because if it is a machine that has, like, it increases the costs of materials and all that for it. So there's the pro and the con there. Just run up here. Alright. There's another place I can set up coal power later. Like for the whole mid game, that's where my main power place was in the last time I played this game and actually made meaningful progress.
Your contract legally compels you to harvest this artifact. Harvest.
Is it the same map every time? Yeah, it's a really big map, but it is handcrafted. But it's deliberate. Like, the handcrafting is to make it an interesting map worth exploring and looking around versus like a procedurally generated map, which usually, you know, like finding the stuff can be interesting, but it's not like I've talked about before that generally speaking, when you look at a handcrafted map versus a procedurally generated map, there's pros and cons with each. But one of the unfortunate cons that you deal with procedural generation is you end up with a lot of weird edge cases that don't look as good. So there is an option for different map? No, so it's one map, you choose different start points at it. So like if you saw where I was building down there a moment ago, that's one start point. And where I'm traveling like halfway across the map, that's not even there, it's even farther, is another start point. It's a pretty big map. I got worried there that I missed the grapple. How are we doing our Caterium? We're doing fine. I need to drop off materials before I worry about this stuff. This is crazy far. Yup. But we'll end up either using a train to bring stuff over. The worst case scenario is I just run a conveyor belt the entire way, which I really hope we don't do, because that becomes extremely costly to build. So, like, really appreciate design now. Maps now, like, so not... Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a place for procedural generation. Like, I find rogue-style games like roguelites. I find procedural generation to be really good for those, where the idea is you do a quick map, you die, you do the next one, you die, like that kind of thing. Those are kind of the sweet spot for procedurally generated. But stuff like story-driven RPGs, like big world factory kind of things, like that's actually the difference between this and Factorio. Factorio, it's a procedurally generated map. But, like, in Factorio, exploration has, like, no meaningful value beyond find this resource, where is it? Like, you don't care what the map looks like over by that resource. It's just, you know, where's the iron? Where's uranium? Where's that? Versus this game, you get very well rewarded for exploring in the means of those power slugs. Why did I go this way? Where's my coal? Coal's the other way. I'm going the wrong way. Hang on. Well, I'm here. I might as well grab the reinforced. It's fine. Like, no. It's not that I went, like, the entire wrong area of the map. There's a split up here, and I went left when I should be right. So I'm going to that big tower you see in the sky. The space elevator there. You can't see it. The cable's perfectly eclipsing it. There. Dude, where's my coal? All right. I look forward to having the jetpack and all that, just for making travel even faster. Or also, on top of that, making the vacuum tube things, where you just tube across the landscape. But you have to do that initial setup of, like, all the cost of building the tube to get over. There you go. But once you get it all set up, then it's not so bad. You just hop in, you just get across the map. Alright, so let's see. We want to go to where my coal is, which is on the other side of this. But first, part of me, can I get a cable all the way over there? Yes, I can. Alright, so your leaves. Your wood. Where's the wood? There's the wood. Alright. Okay, so we can get new recipes. So this is the one we saw before. Now we can make it so the rotors no longer require rods, but instead they require copper sheet. I don't actually know if that's that much better or not, versus the other ones, which is we could change the reinforced plates to use copper wire and plates, which is pretty cheap, or we can have it where it's instead of we massively increase the screw cost, but we're producing 3 at a time, so it's 12 screws per plate, so it's 36 screws. I don't feel like that's a win, which is the thing I wanted to check earlier, is I don't feel like this one's a win. Like, this will allow me to have higher throughput, but I have to manage to get that many screws into the machine that fast, which is a big ask. It's kind of the same problem that I'm looking at with this one, is that 52 screws really quickly is also going to be a bottleneck. I'm gonna see if we can't do that again. Because it looks like you can kind of reset it. which I don't think was an intended thing. I just want to see if it changes or not. So we drop you off. Sort. We have some slugs. Let's go ahead and make those into shards. Okay. Now back to getting to our power before that ends up getting us in trouble. Oh. It didn't grab it. I was like, wait. So let's see if instead of going the whole way around, we can add a more direct line. Because I'm loving that I could use this as a travel means. Yup. But instead of going that whole way up and down that area now, and there's our nice renewable coal. Our proper renewable power in the game. Alright, so power, coal generation. Doing the whole going big, probably going to regret it. So splitter. Alright, so we can go and grab you, plug in here, plug in here, plug in here. Okay, so we probably do not have enough water production, so we are producing 240, 100, or 360. Each of those is 50, so 100, 200, 300, 400. So I do need to chuck one of these in here. Second one there. Alright, so that should get that going. I'm a little concerned that we'll probably not be able to get enough coal to get through all this to keep these running. I mean, it actually seems to be doing okay. Yeah, so in case you didn't notice, we massively spiked up. There's our potential power, or our power we're generating. So you saw it just went up there. And then this is our power consumption, and it just went up a tiny little bit because of the power slugs they tossed in our things pulling up the water. That should be plenty of water. They don't need to worry about it. It does seem to be winning, but just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that's just because everything's still filling up. Cool. There's arachnophobia mode kicking in. See, that's almost worse than the spiders, as just spiders. That thing's gonna kill me. I think it has fire. Yeah, I'm the same way, where it's like, actually, these are pretty terrifying. I love how the graphic stays there, and then just have like the chunk that's still very clearly spider. All right, so yeah, but as you can see, it's a pretty fun meme with it. That it does kind of help with arachnophobia, but they've made it like canonical in the game, versus that's what that was actually fighting. It's pretty fantastic. Yeah, it's like that's deeply upsetting. But even the cat, it's like, oh god. The funny thing is the cats actually kind of give away better than the spiders do where they're at. Just get away from the bees. It's guarding what looks like copper. Hey, big... Aw, there's bees there, too. I'll be like, hey, big guy, I'll just run up top there and grab that real fast and leave. Those bees are going to be a pain, and you have to actually deal with them. It's fine. Like, it's a thing early game, you don't really worry too much about the power slugs, but as the game goes on, especially as you're able to travel easier, you end up going out of your way for the power slugs as much as possible. Alright, so let's run up here and check on this one coal mine. I am a bit concerned that we're probably outrunning its production. We're on the fence. I mean, I could easily just chuck a slug in there and call it a day. Well, no, there's no point for the time. Well, I mean, I guess there will be eventually. But for the time being, it's not that big a deal. That said, it is getting ready to be... It's getting ready to be that time that I have to take my little 5-minute break that I usually do at about the middle of the stream. Because I do stream for 11 hours, so at some point, I gotta eat. But, what'll happen here in a minute is I'm going to get up here to where we're going to remember what we actually are and what's happening. I say that to myself mostly. And then what I'll end up doing is putting up some words on stream. That way while I take my little 5-minute break, you're not sitting here with nothing to do. I have a bunch of these towers that are like completely redundant now. It's fantastic. Alright, but this is going pretty well because we are making the modular frames and I have plenty of rotors coming in. So literally we should just be able to unlock our next tech. And all that's going. So give me a moment to make sure I manually save the game because it's just the thing that everyone does. They never trust their autosave. They just always go for the manual save just in case. And this game does have a thing where it doesn't pause while you're in there. Not that it matters too much, but just in case. So let me go ahead and get words on stream going on, and I'll go ahead and make sure I stop my recording.